Hi. So I am waiting for our guest. Don't worry, I get the point. I don't think you can wave back, but I can see your gesture. Thank you for joining. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm waiting for our guest. She joined before, but I don't know if it's network that threw her out, but she left. So I'm waiting for her to join in again. I know, right? But how are you doing? Okay, she has joined. Let me try again. Send the request. Um, Hi Remy, can I invite you in instead of you sending a request? Because I don't think that is working. So I sent. All right, let me try again. Oh, God, getting stressed out. Can you see my invite? Oh my God. Sugar. Yay, thank God. Um, okay. I can't see you yet. Jeez. So it's saying we're live, but I can't see you. Oh my God. Oh God, what's happening? Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Oh, thank God.
Finally.
Finally.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, God.
I've been
I was
trying
already
to
freaking out.
connect. The network is really terrible. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Good
Thank you so
afternoon.
much for joining.
You're
It's so
welcome.
nice to
You're
meet
welcome.
you.
Okay.
To meet you. Okay, so
Okay.
let's just start because a
Okay.
lot of time has gone. Okay. So we're going live. This is okay. Can you introduce yourself in case people don't know who you
Okay,
are?
my name is Remi Lawal. I'm the founder, one of the founders, and the head formulator for BrownSkin Girl skincare in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm also a clinical esthetician, a certified clinical esthetician, a cosmetologist, and public relations and advertising expert as well. So, uh, doing everything at once. So that briefly is about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
I think I've been following Brown Skin Girl for a few years.
Okay.
And every time you guys put out a new product, I'm always like, where are these people getting their inspiration from? I think I remember I got your nude eye serum and the
Okay.
cocktail of ingredients in it. I was like, this is just eye serum. Oh. Why are like what? So can you just tell us the inspiration behind Brown Skin Girl? Because I know you guys have been in existence for a while
Yes, we have.
before, the song with
Oh, yes, sure.
Whiskey and
Yes.
so, can you tell us the inspiration, your journey into skincare and hair care, beauty in general, and
In
your
general.
inspiration behind Brown Skin Girl?
Okay. Brown Skin Girl as a whole started with it started with me. Um, Personally, um I have my choice of skincare products. So even before Brown Skin Girl started, it was quite a hassle trying to get the things that I liked, the things that my skin liked. From when we were young, we've always been into skincare. My mom never, she did not um, slack, if to use that word, in that aspect. We were
Yeah.
really into skincare, lotions and body washes and all of that when we were younger. So when I grew older, it was now, oh, I needed to get some things that fits into my lifestyle, things that fit into simplicity. And I had a problem with fragrance products that are heavily fragranced.
Okay.
My skin reacted a lot to heavily fragranced products. So it started my journey into researching things that were a little bit of natural, a little bit of organic in the sense, in the real sense of it being organic,
Yes.
not the organic we have right now. So I needed things that were a little, that had that were plant based
Okay.
and fragrance free, hypoallergenic, and it was just going to fit my skin type. And when I started, it was just personal. It wasn't a business. And I just found out that everybody just always took my stuff. People just always took my stuff.
Okay.
So one day it became, oh, can you do some for me? And because I am not a big fan of making customized product for people.
Okay.
I like someone comes in today and says, "Oh, can you make it into my how I want it?" It wasn't what I wanted as a business model, so I had to fit in the whole essence of products being plant based and ethical and being nature inspired into Brown Skin Girl. So when Brown Skin Girl started, organic skincare had not even really been, it hadn't even gone
Yeah.
out into the markets. And we were one of the people who started, and I think we started with BBM channel. So we had a BBM channel,
Mm.
and we're talking about, yeah, we're talking about skincare. We gathered a lot of followers. We really did gather a lot of followers. I miss BBM channels. So we got a lot of followers. We got people who were really enthusiastic about being deliberate about their skin, being intentional about the things they put on their skin. So
Okay.
Brown Finger started as a natural and organic products, natural and
Okay.
organic skincare brand. But as time
Okay.
went on, I saw how very misleading that could be because we had to always explain to people that, oh, no, 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 we're not that kind of organic. So we had to rebrand as a plant-based, nature-inspired skincare. And then we also rebranded so that we could cater to textured skin, especially for brown skin people of natural African descent, because I found out that even in procedural skincare, like in clinic skincare, we're still very limited on how to cater to black skin.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be the pioneers, one of the pioneers for skincare that was specially formulated for brown skin, black skin, African skin, and also especially textured skin. So
Mm.
that's one of the stories that inspired BrownSkin Girl, although a lot of things also inspired, but that was how we started. That was the journey that brought us to this place where we are right now.
Okay. Do you remember the first product you formulated?
It was a body butter. It was a body
Oh,
butter,
nice.
and it was an amazing body butter. It's the body butter that has gone through different phases now, and it's the Baobab body butter, the
Oh,
one we have right now. The Baobab body
okay.
butter. That was our first
Wow.
formulation. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So I part you said you are specializing in plant-based and nature-inspired.
Yes.
There was another term I saw, biomimetic skincare, and
Biomimetic.
that was
Yes.
my okay. So that was honestly the first time I was hearing about that, and I just wanted
Okay.
to ask about that. Like,
Okay.
what is yeah? So what's the goal with that for Brown Skin
Okay.
Girl?
For brown skin girl, one of our major priorities is making sure that we are using, we're formulating products with skin identical ingredients. That's
Okay.
ingredients that mimic the exact nature of the skin. So that's what biomimetics are. They mimic the exact nature of the skin, and they're directly from plants or inspired by nature. So, for instance, hyaluronic acid. Skin produces hyaluronic acid. So, most of our formulations will feature products, ingredients that mimics the skin's nature. If the skin produces hyaluronic acid, we'll
Yeah.
produce with things that are very high in humectants and things that
Okay.
could attract or help with transepidermal water loss. If the skin produces, so we make use of a lot of herbal herbs and plants. Um, and recently, we started researching into a lot of African-based plants. So we're formulating with a lot of like bay leaf. We're
Okay.
formulating with thyme. We're formulating with there's this plant. It's a very it's called the I think the power plant or something like that. The name just eluded me now, but it's a power
Um,
plant. It's called the Yoruba people call it a bamboda plant. It's
okay.
a yeah. So we're still doing some research into that, but by the time we're done, we're going to be formulating with that. So most of what we call biomimetics are just things like this that feature in products
Dynamic.
that
Mhm.
exactly mimics the skin. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I was going to go into research later because I know that to be able to put out products like these, there has to be a lot of research that goes into
Yes.
it. But before we go there, I wanted to
Okay.
ask how I feel like research is probably the major answer, but how do you decide what ingredients to work with and what products to put out? Because I know that some of your products have ingredients that I have actually not seen in
Heard
some
about.
Nigerian brands.
Okay.
Yes. So and I know that that has to be a lot of research, right? Okay, that has to be a lot of research. So how do you decide what ingredients to work with, what products to put out, even with your hair care products?
Yes. Okay, so deciding on products goes through a phase for us. So we have, um, first off, we have test groups.
Okay.
These test groups are volunteers who we send products out to. Some of them in clinic. So we have the in clinic
Okay.
research team, and then we have the people we send products out to. So but before we decide on what to put into products, most times we also have teams in
Okay.
BSG. So we have the 1111 team, we have the timeless team. So sometimes these people come together and they're like, okay, is it the timeless team that is going to have this product, or the Timeless team has come up with this product, and it has to follow the brand. So the Timeless brand has its ingredients that they're encircled within.
Okay.
We have, so Timeless has the retinol, vitamin C, and all of that. So they come up with products within that range. Products probably anti-aging, products that follow that specification.
Okay.
So by the time we decide, so if a team decides that okay, we want to come up with something that's going to address hyperpigmentation, and it's going to contain this, this, and this, because we
Okay.
have researched into these three ingredients, and we've seen that these three ingredients can actually um,
Work together.
can can work together to address that particular skin concern. So it's a teamwork. When that's done, we also still decide if the Timeless team is going to be the best people to put out that product. It's going to be best to put it out on that Timeless. It's going to be best to put it out on that 1111. If it's best to put it on that Luna. So Luna actually it contains brands of products that can be used in the night. So that's why it's Luna. Timeless can be used day and night. 1111 specifically addresses cocktail of products that works for hyperpigmentation, and also substitute for Luna or Timeless, because
Okay.
what's it called now? 1111 has the 1111 Restore. The ingredients on that 1111 Restore are put ingredients that can substitute for vitamin C. So that's how
Okay.
we come up with our ingredients, and a lot of research has to go into it. It has to be used by the test group. It has to be used in clinic. We need to be sure that it can do what it says it can do. We also need to be sure that the shelf life is not going to be a problem for us, because when we started out, we had that issue, because we were doing research, but we weren't as in depth as we are right now. So we'll
Okay.
do research and just put it out, and then we will probably neglect something in the shelf life. So now we have to go through different stages of testing for shelf life. We put it under UV rays, we put it under darkness, we have to test to make sure that no matter the condition that the product is under, at least it will give you the best in terms of longevity. So research for us is big. It's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal for us, because every time someone comes back and says, "Oh, this product is not doing what it's supposed to do,"
Yeah,
it's
just go
something
back to
for us. So we have to go
yeah.
back to the drawing board. Sometimes we've had to recall products a lot of times. I don't have a problem with that. The team doesn't have a problem with that, because if we put out a product and it's really not meeting its quality check in a way, we have to recall it. And somehow there's really nothing we can do about it. We always deal with feedback. We're big on feedback. So every time feedback comes, we see what we can do and we just work on it. But research for us is a big deal. And I know we're still going to talk about it later, but that's the
Yeah.
reason why the Best Foundation is on. That's why we have the Best Foundation. The foundation has not really gone into the mainstream, but it's still doing its research. So the Best Foundation right now is strictly research based.
Okay. Okay, so Bare Skin doesn't really have, was that supposed to be a makeup? Was it
The
supposed
Best
to, yes.
No, Best Foundation is a foundation that caters to skincare. So it's just a branch
Oh,
of BrownSkin Girl. So Best Skin
okay.
is advocating for safety in skincare. So it's just a foundation for us. Yes,
Okay.
not the makeup foundation.
Uh, no, it was even the best. I don't know
Yeah,
why I associated it with makeup. But
yes,
okay.
because of
So let's
Best
just go
Skin.
into let's go into research now. I don't think we prioritize research in the industry. And I've only heard a few people talk about research actually. And I know that for you to have a brand like BrownSkin Girl, there has to be a lot of research, which was
Yeah.
part of the major thing I wanted to talk about, because innovation cannot happen if there has not been a lot of research underground. So,
Yeah.
so I think you've answered the first part of my question, because I was going to ask how much you prioritize research, and you've said that research is the foundation. So, how important is it to research? Like, why do you think it's important for brand owners, like for example, to prioritize research?
The skin in itself is the largest organ in the body. So if you're going to be in the business of skincare, you need to make research your priority. Because if someone is trusting you with the largest organ in their body, you need to be able to give them quality. You need to be able to give them assurance. You need to be
Mhm.
able to give them the truth. Um, the skincare industry is majorly laden with fear mongering. So
Yes.
there's a lot of fear mongering in the industry. I wouldn't lie, it helps us sell, but ethically, because I'm really big on ethics. I'm really, really, really big on ethics. So it's also one of the bedrocks of BrownSkin Girl. There's so many things that many brands will do. We will not participate. Even if it's bringing in the money, we will not
Yeah,
participate in
that's
it.
something I
So
understood. Yeah.
ethics is big for us. So one of the bedrocks of ethics is making sure that your quality assurance is there. You're doing what you said you're going to do. Your product is doing what it has assured people that it's going to do. So for a product to be able to deliver on its promise, there has to be research. There has to be research spanning over months. There has to be research spanning over years. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush it. When
Mm.
we decided to do our sunscreen, it's a lot of research went into it. When the first batch came out, we still had errors. We had to recall and we had to research again to make sure that we're not going outside of what the brand wanted its
Yeah.
sunscreen to be.
Yeah.
Our sunscreen, whatever happens, it's always been mineral based. So how do we make a sunscreen that is mineral based, still has as much SPF, is broad spectrum, and will not leave as much white cast, which many people feel is very unbearable. So
Mm.
how do we make that? For that to happen, a lot of research had to go into it, a lot of testing had to be done. We put out the product when we felt it was good enough. We still had some complaints. We had to call it back. We had to do it again. So if it takes us doing it 10 times, at least we'll do it 10 times to make sure that we're giving people quality. So when research is concerned, we can't compromise on it. It's not negotiable. It's one of our non-negotiables. So research is big for us. When we decided to do the plant ferment enzyme,
Biofilm.
the bioferment. I think that's one of the products, apart from the sunscreen, that went through a lot of research and testing, because all of those products had to be fermented and had to be fermented using biomimetics, like
Yeah.
all of the base for it still had to be we had to use bases that were not going to be harmful in the long run and was going to also ensure longevity of the product. So a lot of research went into that product. I think that's our second most researched and tested products ever,
Mm.
because we also had to plant most of the things that we use ourselves. So we had to plant, we had
Oh,
yes, we planted,
wow.
we harvested, and we had to do it organically. So that was something else that made that product the whole coming out of the product was it took a while. So I think it's our second most researched and tested product after the sunscreens. Yes.
Wow. Okay. I have one question, but I wanted to ask one question before. Okay, I
Okay.
wanted to talk. Can we talk about this organic thing? Because because the organic that everybody knows is not the real definition of organic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think from what I know, for something to be certified organic, it has to start from when it was planted,
Yes.
not just using natural products or natural ingredients.
Mhm.
So can you expatiate on that? Like, what is organic?
So, like you said, for something to be certified organic, it doesn't just start with when it's planted. It starts with the seed.
Mm.
What you're
Oh,
planting has to
yeah.
also be organic. So
Okay.
it starts with the seed you're putting into the ground. So let me say a story. When Brown Skin Girl first started and we're looking for distributorship, we went to um we went to a Lebanese store, strictly organic Lebanese store, and the lady sat me down. I think it was our first or second month, and she told me, you know what, um, this is going to be a long journey for you. You might not get there in 10 years, you might not get there in 15 years, you might not get there in 20 years, but if you stay the course, you're going to get there. She asked me when I took all the products to her, the few products that we wanted them to distribute at the store, and she asked me for our organic certification.
Hmm.
So we need she wanted to see all of our certificates that showed that every single thing that went into that product
Yeah.
was organic. Apart from the certificates, we also had to produce the origin, ingredient origin. So we're going to do all of that.
Wow.
It looked like a long process, but to me, that was a huge eye opener. It just showed me that yes, what we wanted to achieve was achievable. There were people who were also looking out for this same kind of standards.
Yeah.
So if we're talking organic, it starts from all of the simple processes that you put into making your products. Organic products cannot have the same shelf life with
Mm.
regular products.
Okay.
It cannot also have the same pricing with regular products. So you find out that
Okay.
organic products are a lot more expensive than regular products. So I'm talking about the real thing now, what organic means. So if you're making
Yeah.
an organic body butter, it means that every single thing that came together to make that body butter came from the ground, does not have chemicals. There's nothing that was used to enhance the production process. It is strictly organic. It probably came
Mm.
from a farm, somebody's farm who is farming organic,
Yes.
came to you directly, you produced, and you are putting out an organic product. That's what organic means. 5, 6
Mm.
years down the line, first time I heard organic, the first time I heard the word was used as a, I don't know if to call it a verb or a noun. And I'm like, the person asks, do you have organic? And I'm like, I
What?
do I have organic?
Organic what?
Do we have organic? What does that even mean? So you're like, oh, she wants to tone up. Apart from the word organic, another word that has been terribly abused is toning.
Mm.
I don't know how many times I've had to explain to people that look, toning does not mean that you're bleaching. Or it does not mean that you're bleaching. It means sometimes it means the contraction of a muscle, contraction of your pores. When you say I have a toned muscle, it means that
Yeah.
you've been exercising. Yeah.
When you work
So
out.
contraction is what toning actually means. And people now use toning to mean. So
Oh,
a lot of
boy.
words have gone outside of its original meaning. So if you use that, if that features on your product, if you have like a brightening toner, you have to explain 10 times to people. Yeah, oh, no. It's not. Sorry, a lot of people. So um, it's it's sad that it comes to that we have to um double
Re-educate.
educate people about what organic means, but it is what it is at the time. It is what it is really. So,
Like,
but
there's
the
a lot
actual,
of. Okay.
I don't know how to put it anymore. But what Nigerians have termed organic,
It's
it's,
not.
it's, yeah, it's really sad that that's what we have right now, and that's what we have to battle with for skincare. Yes.
We don't even have a body that actually
Oh,
certifies
we actually we
doing.
have a body.
Okay.
We do have a body. The problem is in regulation.
Oh,
So
what?
NAFDAC,
Aside NAFTA.
NAFDAC
Oh.
is our
Oh,
biggest
I mean a
body.
separate. No, I mean a separate. But because I think in the if I'm I hope I remember this correctly, but I know in the US they have a separate body that certifies organic and green products.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah,
So like it's
you.
like a
They have body.
smaller body. So we don't even
Yes.
have that. Now like is the one they're supposed to regulate, they've not even sorry. Um okay.
Let's not
Okay,
let's not
let's
even
just
go.
move on. Okay,
Yeah,
so my next question, we talk about research. So I wanted to ask, I know that you guys don't follow trends, and most brands in Nigeria, not to say that the products are bad, but we tend to follow what the West is doing, right? So hyaluronic acid started raining, then everybody started doing hyaluronic acid, everybody started doing niacinamide. But you guys always go beyond the norm and you create, and I think that's why you've lasted because when you tend to follow trends, you don't go very far, right? So I wanted to ask how the industry in general and more brands can achieve sustainability because you have to create brands that outlive you, not
yeah.
brands that will die when a trend dies or yeah. So how do you think we can do that based on your
So
experience?
for sustainability in the industry, like you mentioned, there's so many ingredients right now that has become popular now, and they've been in our products since, right? For instance, malic acid. It's not even really popular till now, but we've been formulating with malic acid from the beginning. So that's why research is very important. You cannot be in this industry without research. So if you've researched into ingredients and the best things that come together to make your product work, you already know that whether malic acid is in vogue or is trendy right now or not,
Mhm.
this is going to work in my product. So it's not about
Yeah.
it being right. Rice has been in our black soap from the beginning, right?
Wow.
We it's not until it becomes popular then you now start tweaking and adjusting your ingredients to feature
So
it.
yes.
Yes. So I don't think that it is sustainable that you are also trying to highlight an ingredient. Oh, we now have a hyaluronic acid serum. It's amazing, but we're not in the advertising business. This is skincare. So that's why I said the skincare industry is very laden with fear mongering. All of a sudden, you have maybe glycolic acid is now in vogue. Everybody's saying if you don't have it, if you don't have enough glycolic acid, you are not doing anything right. But 2 weeks ago, you said if it was salicylic acid, but now it's glycolic acid. So how many times do you have to change? How many times
Mm-hmm.
do you have to tell people? So if your formulation already contains this thing, just focus on the importance, the efficiency, and then the results rather than highlighting
Yeah.
ingredients. Because trust me, you think rice is the best thing now. In 2, 3 months' time, there'll be another research that tells you that maybe water.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, retinol, yes,
Yes.
for instance, retinol. For the longest, we heard if you're not using retinol in your skincare, you're not doing the right thing. When we switched to Bakuchiol was not even in vogue. So Bakuchiol, when we reformulated with Bakuchiol, it wasn't even the notice that all products should no longer contain as much retinol as we used to know had not even
Okay.
come out because it was just we want biomimetics, right? Bakuchiol
Yes.
is the closest to retinol and it is plant based. It is nature inspired. Okay, amazing. Let's add it to our retinol. That was the
Mm.
basis for it. It did not have. It had nothing to do with this is going to be what it was just because we had our principles, so we're just working with principles. So when eventually the notice came out and said I got the notice, all the formulator seminars attended, and they were like, okay, if you formulated with 1%, you have to either go low or switch to the alternative. And I'm like, wow, we didn't even know that this was we didn't even know. And then our retinol I think our retinol has to be one of the most gentlest in the market right now, because it will not make you purge. It will not make you purge. We've always formulated it in the way it's good for beginners. We're not aiming towards the very outrageous result. We just want a beginner formula. Yes, it contained exactly what we wanted it to contain. So if you are going to keep moving with the trend, what happens if tomorrow they say Bakuchiol is no longer good? Or if you have enough research under your belt, you know what to add to your products, you know what to take out of your product. So apart from the fact that we formulate, most times we reformulate. So if we find out that, oh, this is really not doing well in the product, or we feel that the percentages could be adjusted, we reformulate that with the same ingredient, less percentages, higher percentages, or new ingredients similar to what we had before, or just to make sure that it's a better experience for people using the products. So, sustainability can only be achieved back to research. So, if you're not have sustainable product, cannot have a sustainable brand, not be stagnant, and then there's sometimes a lot of brands space out products. It's a good thing, but I don't think we have just a little portfolio of products that we actually phased out, and we phased it out probably because we have something doing almost similar to or we were formulated and just changed the name. So, but if you're working with trends, if you now find out that salicylic acid is no longer trendy, you have to stop a particular product that you have that has salicylic acid so you can cater to a new ingredient. And I don't think that that's sustainable at all. If you want to build a brand, you have to build a brand that stands the test of time. So if someone calls you up even if you are no longer, you need to hand over, there are people who can follow up with, because the brand already has its principles, its ethics, its moral, everything. So anybody coming in can just take over from where yes, and it's something that
Okay, I honestly love that answer. Another thing I'm hearing is because of how much you have prioritized research, you've even gone ahead of trends because you would have done something before it would even start trending. Okay, okay. So, so I want to talk about some of the gaps you've faced in trying to prioritize research, trying to source your ingredients, or formulate the type of products that you do. What are some gaps that you faced so far?
apart from government policy, which is like the biggest
Sadly.
problem that we had. Another thing is the source of the ingredients we have. So recently, the way start having very reliable sources of for raw materials, and I am really grateful for that because it has bridged a lot of gaps in what we used to face before. Because when we started, I had to, because before the team expanded, I had to do a lot of the buying and sourcing by myself, and a lot come from outside, and it was really pricey. So we had to do that and still maintain a price point the brand. So we were doing a lot of small batch productions, and it wasn't really profitable, to be very honest. But we just had to put products out. But eventually, we now have a lot of very reliable raw material sources, and I am really grateful for them. Like our raw material sources that we have right now in Nigeria, they are amazing. People who bring these products and make it available for producers to get in large quantities. It's really changed the game. So
Yeah.
aside that, and also trying to educate people on, and then the skincare community right now, they're a lot more enlightened compared to
Yeah.
before. Well, even
Yes.
enlightenment, a lot of people are still looking for a lot of fast action in skincare. So there's still that to to address. And then a
Yeah.
lot of people are also very repetitive. They pick up
Mm.
things from other people and then use it. And there's still that part of educating people that somebody else's routine can work for you. So
Okay.
there's the education part, they're trying to enlighten people, which is one of the reasons why Best in Foundation is also trying to gather a lot of, maybe raise a lot of dollars and gather a lot of publicity and do a lot of ground grassroots work for the skincare community. So the idea for Blessing Foundation is to advocate for ethical skincare, advocate for education in skincare, get to the grassroots, get to schools, get to the women in the market, people that cannot readily buy skincare products, want to be
Yeah.
able to read skincare products because it's a bit elitist when you're saying, oh, reapply your sunscreen. Really? The people who actually need this sunscreen, who need this
Yes.
protection, probably that
Mm.
woman in the market who is sitting down under the sun all day with the sun
Yeah.
exposure. She needs the sunscreen. But how do you tell her to actually buy sunscreen? Our
Mm.
sunscreen is more expensive than all of the things she has on her table.
Oh, no. Yeah. The selling.
Yeah, so we want to be able to reach these people and give them like access to great skincare. Also to make sure that people maybe in the school when we want to also get to schools, secondary schools most especially, where we have people who are just approaching puberty, they don't understand what's going on with their skin, they are
Mm.
very susceptible to peer pressure. People are telling them, oh, you have pimples all over your face. I think you should use toothpaste. I think you should
Mm.
use from back. We want to be able to reach these people with this education that they need so that they don't damage their skin from a very young age. We have a lot of exposure to this information and we can help them. Even if we might not be
Yeah.
able to help with it, we might be able to help too. Who will probably spread the message to poor, who spread the
Yeah.
message to. So if we can save 2 lives, 2 people's skin, I think we'll be doing a lot of justice to the world. So these are part of the things that we're facing. Because even as an in-clinic esthetician, I see people who come in with long-term damage, like damage to their skin that has been
Oh.
going on for a very
Mm.
and it's very sad telling them, oh, this cannot be cured. We can only manage it. We can only
Mm.
try. So and if we can do something about that, I think BrownSkin Girl has been a true blessing would have achieved something in the world. I think that it would have achieved something that personally will be a huge success for me. And that's how I know
Mm.
that's how I know
Wow. That's a lot. Like we have a lot of work to do.
it.
Oh, okay. So, final few questions. What lessons have you learned so far in managing a brand like this and in the industry?
One
Major
most important
lessons.
is patience. You will learn patience. You will learn
Okay.
patience. I've learned patience. I've learned um, humility.
Okay.
I've learned empathy. Oh, I've learned,
Mm.
and then I've
Mm.
learned this from
Mm.
running, learned all of that because patience is what's going to make you keep doing when there's probably a million and one reasons why you shouldn't anymore.
Mm.
You could ask you to go with the flow, do what's in what's trendy, make money with
Mm-hmm.
the trend, move with the trend, but if you want to do something that is going to be sustainable, you have to be patient. I also
Yeah.
learned because I learned patience to not count the years, but to count all the little success stories that BrownSkin Girl has had, especially with our in-clinic patients. Oh,
Mm.
it's been amazing when I've seen people who have responded really well to the products in clinic, and I'm like,
Mm.
I don't think that this was going to work like this, but it's more than what I envisaged for the
Mm.
brand. And working directly with it, sometimes I step out of myself and I'm like, okay, I think this is really going to be bigger than me. In fact, it's already bigger than me. A lot of people, I don't even identify with it at times. And
Mm.
I've been the product for over 8 years. And I've not had one issue. In fact, when
Yeah.
I change is when I start feeling like, oh my God, I can't do what I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, um, patience, discipline, empathy, and diplomacy. I think those are the biggest four lessons that I've learned. And it's helped. It really has helped, even in my personal life.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Um, what would you like to see, like in coming years, in terms of innovation, not just with Brown Skin Girl, but generally?
Uh, I would like to see more access to research centers. I would love,
Mm.
I would love the project that regulates skincare in Nigeria and with NAFDAC. I would love to see a lot of improvement there. I don't want to say a lot, but I would love to see a lot of improvements there because
Okay.
it's it starts there. If
Yes.
we trust our regulatory body, then we'll be able to beat our chest over a lot of things that are put out in the market.
Mm.
There's always going to be, even in outside the country, there's a lot. There are brands that do these things that we accuse Nigerian brands. I've seen some of the biggest brands also that don't list all of their ingredients. So, but we can trust them because we feel that they have a body that looks out for
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
We have a regulatory body that can help in that aspect. And I think we need to trust brands more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Another big thing I would really love to see in the coming years will be test centers where we
Mm.
can take this product to
Oh.
and we can patients, oh, your sunscreen is SPF 50. Oh, yeah, it's actually
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, so all of these test centers and then accessibility to these centers, if if all of these are put in place, I think that we would have gone
Very
10 steps
long way.
and
Mm.
our product, Nigerian product will be able to compete favorably in the international market. I think we have a lot of beautiful brands, amazing
Yeah,
brands, really have a
we
lot of,
do.
and if we brands that are making products that are specific to our skin type, and I've seen people who have used a lot of Nigerian brands, and their skin is doing 10 times better than when they were doing international brands. So I think we have something. There's something. We have something here, and you can nurture
Mm-hmm.
it, see it through. I think it would be amazing too. Maybe in some years, where everybody shouting KBT, we'll probably be talking about
Pay it.
NBT or
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Finally, do you have a favorite brown single product? I know it's like choosing a favorite child.
I, I I don't think I've ever stuck with one favorite because sometimes, okay, no, I don't have a favorite,
Okay,
but I don't have,
that's fine.
but sometimes, based on what my skin is at the time, I just find myself, but there's products I've always used over time. Like, obviously, I can't use all of our products, but personally, the retinol serum has always been
Mm.
like, I have never run out of retinol serum. Never, not one. So it's one of my must have. The blue nectar overnight mask because I
That's
tend a lot.
beautiful.
I move a lot towards things that are very light on the skin.
Okay.
Not everything, I'm very minimalist when it comes to skincare. So the blue nectar has also been something that always. It's in my fridge. It's in my fridge at work. I put it on anytime. It's an overnight mask, but I use it anytime.
Mm.
So it's from the blue nectar, the mandelic acid serum. Not a personal favorite, but it's a favorite I recommend to anybody. So
Okay.
if you're just starting out with skincare and you're like, oh, I don't want something heavy, oh, trust me, mandelic acid is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the first thing out of my mouth. I also really love the 1111 hydrate and the
Okay.
plant ferment. Yeah, because I'm big on toners as well. So the 1111
Mm-hmm.
hydrate, the plant ferment essence. I think those four products have been recently. They've been but the timeless retinol serum has always been an all-time favorite. All-time favorite. So
Amazing. Okay, so we have come to the end of this live, and I think we finished just in time. This has been amazing.
thank you.
Like, I have taken a lot of things, and I'm so glad that you joined and we had this conversation, even if it was just for me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's great.
Thank you
Thanks
so much
for
for joining.
having me.
I hope people that joined gained a lot too, because I saw people leaving and joining.
So
Thank you so much.
you,
Yes.
me,
Okay.
allow me to share the BrownSkin Girl story. Hopefully, in a few years' time, we'll still be here again talking about something different. Hopefully, something
Yes. Yes.
yeah, progressive. Thank you, Skincare
Mhm.
Fam, and I wish
Thank
you
you.
the best.
Thank you. Have enjoy the rest of your day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye. Okay.